Welcome to another Monday Match Points. We'll go ahead and get things started for this week. I want to talk just a little bit about legal jerseys, and this is for both coaches and officials. I've received lots of questions about jerseys these first couple weeks of the season. So I just want to make sure that I point out a couple of the things that have been a commonly asked question or issue so far this season. On our uniform tops, the color of the number on the jersey has to clearly contrast the color of the uniform top. So if you have, say, for instance, a black jersey and the number is blue, that is not contrasting, regardless of what the trim color is. You might have a white or a pink or a bright green or yellow outline. The outline does not matter when you're looking at the contrast between the number color and the number or the color of the jersey. Also, your libero jersey has to clearly contrast from the predominant color or colors of your team uniform. So if you have, say, for instance, a red, black, and white jersey that your team is wearing, and your libero jersey is just the inverse of what your team is wearing, that is not a clearly contrasting jersey for the libero. Best point of practice for your libero is have it be as solid of a jersey as it can in terms of one color. If it's going to have a design on it, make sure that it is clearly contrasting, like black and white or yellow and dark blue, something along those lines. So if this is discovered that that a team is wearing an illegal jersey, the rule book says that the penalty is to award a point to the other team prior to the start of the first set, and then you play on. What I would ask is officials, if you see this and it can't be remedied before the match, always ask if the team can change into a legal uniform if they're not wearing one. But if it can't be, go through that process and then let me know about it so that I can work with the administration at one of those schools if we're having an issue with jerseys. So, coaches, if you have questions, feel free to let me know. But otherwise, that's how we should be handling any jersey questions as we move forward this season. So, with that, I'm going to kick it over to Kim.
Jeff, today I've had some questions about power tipping. I know we've seen a lot of Husker volleyball and things on TV where the colleges, the girls, they're strong. They do power tips. And what is legal in high school? I want to refer all of you to page 39 in the rules book. It says a fingertip attack on the ball, which directs the ball into the opponent's court. So, just some guidance on that. As long as the person keeps it in front of, I use the head as kind of the point as to where that makes it legal that they could power tip. If it gets much beyond the head, then the call would be, it's coming to rest. And so that would be a lift. And so just wanted to bring that up. I know, the girls, there's a lot of fast action and things that go on, but just know they can power tip it. So anything in front, and if it's directed, that's okay. I know coaches and fans go wild, but that is legal. You can let that play. But if it gets beyond that, that's when you call it, and it would be this call. So now I will turn it over to Ken.
Thanks, Kim. I just want to, we're in the season of the year where it's kind of between hot and between cold, and you don't know when you go into some gyms if it's going to be hot or cold. So as officials, I'd ask you just to be prepared. If you're afraid the gym is going to be too cold, we would suggest that you wear a long sleeve, or you can wear a long sleeve under your official's shirt as long as it's the same color. But what we don't want to see are any jackets. No officiating with any jackets at all. So maybe you go prepared, but wear long sleeves if you're afraid it's going to be cold. Wear short sleeves and a t-shirt to be comfortable. But even if you're not totally prepared and you find out that gym is a little cooler than what you expected, take the jacket off. Officiate in a uniform. That will make you look professional, and that will add to your game. So have a great season, but let's look professional. Craig.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Hey, I just want to talk quickly about tracking rotations. And this is probably more geared to newer officials, but I get asked a lot of questions about it. And just a couple things. For one is as we have the high school season going, we got to make sure when the coaches turn in their lineup that the receiving team is backed up one. Because I've been getting calls from coaches that are actually questioning that, and it's because club it's in where you start on the court. So just make sure that when you line up the kids that they are lined up correctly from that. And then the second thing with this is one of the things I always do is I always know if the team is either running a 5-1 or a 6-2 for rotations. And that really helps for back row stuff or on the setter. So for those of you that are new and maybe didn't coach in the past, a 5-1 means they have 5 hitters and 1 setter, which basically means that the setter's playing all the way around. So she'll play the back row. Whereas a 6-2 usually means the setter plays in the back row. And then when she goes to the front row, another setter comes in. So the reason that's really important is, again, because of back row play, as far as back row blocks or back row attacks. That's really important with the 6-2. The other thing that I'd highly encourage you to do after every single play is know where your setter is and who's opposite them. So that's where, for those that are beginners, that's where I would start out. And then the rest of it, just as you get more experience, it'll come. But that's just one thing. I get a lot of questions about rotations, and I thought I would just give some tips on what I do personally for that. So that's all I have. Jeff, back to you.
Appreciate it, Craig. One thing I'm going to do just to wrap this video up is the first coach and the first official that email me 2 of the topics that we talked about in this video, I'm going to send you a little care package, a volleyball care package. So email me with a couple of the topics that we talked about, and you'll get a prize. So with that, I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.